All right, the Houston Texans just got a pleasant surprise. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but this channel fully dedicated to teams that just kind of get overlooked by the national media. Houston Texans being one of those teams. We've been talking about you, and you just don't get the love like you should. Last season, a little disappointing, but a lot to be excited about if you're a Texans fan. Okay, here's what's crazy. This is the news. The surprise is that the Houston Texans are the main team, the front runners for Deebo Samuel. And it's like, okay, because Stephon Diggs, you took a swing last year, it didn't work out, got an injury, he's an unrestricted free agent. It's like, okay, let's see what we can do here. Samuel is, I think in our heads, is like, oh, he's old, he's washed up. It's like, no. He just turned 29. He was on a team last year in the Niners that had a bunch of stuff going on. It was clunky. He's still a really good player. His speed enables him to be used both wide out and the backfield. Nico Collins, Tank Dell. Let's go. D'Amico Ryans was with him from 2019, 20, 21, 22 for 4 years. So this is a pleasant surprise because it's like, all right, didn't work out. Could be gun shy after the Stephon Diggs thing where it just didn't work out. So it's like, all right, we're just going to build through the draft. And that would all be very reasonable. But instead, the Texans are looking like they're going to take another big swing, which I think is what you have to do because of the quarterback that you have, the situation you're in financially. Let's take swings while we can, right? Until we have to give him a massive deal, which we will. No problem. Let's take some big swings. So I love that. Now, also, the Texans are at the combine meeting with big swing players. I love this. Colston Loveland played through an injury last season, and he did not have a quarterback, and he's still going to be picked right around that late teens. I mean, he is the best tight end. I mean, the Penn State guy's good too, but you've got Kansas quarterback Kobe Bryant, a couple other ones I wanted to point out. Nebraska tight end. This guy's supposed to go a little bit later, but could be a really good pickup. Another tight end. So a lot of tight ends, defensive end. If I'm a Texans fan, I just love the fact that, let's go here, that you've got so many options. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, is where pick 25 is where things are slated for him. Colston Loveland, he is at 20. So you can kind of see you've got interior offensive linemen, offensive tackles, defensive linemen, all right around you. You look at the Texans as well. Don't have the quantity of picks that you would like, but their first picks 1 through their first 5 rounds are all set well. So what I mean by that is I've seen some other teams that have 8 picks, but they don't have a second and a third. Or, you look at all these picks and it's like, oh man, that's awesome. It's like, well, you don't have a fourth and a fifth, so you've got, though you don't have the quantity, you're only missing a 6th round pick right now. So if you look at the 3 rounds, defensive lineman Kenneth Grant, a wide receiver, and then a linebacker. So I love it. I think you're going to be in great shape. Look at the big board again and kind of where you'd be picking here in the mid-20s. Like I said, look at the really good players. Jahad Campbell is there as well. The guy that people love, Mike Green, I've seen him falling down to the mid-20s, so that's great. But like another pleasant surprise is that Colston Loveland, Kenneth Grant, these Michigan stars are going to be available right here for you. And imagine if you get Deebo Samuel and Colston Loveland. Offense engaged. Really good offense. Have an opportunity to do anything that you want offensively at that point. I mean, right? Like there is no question that you're going to be set up if you can get just a couple players just like that. A couple other things is I thought this was good. Let me pull this up. It's Houston Texans' biggest 2025 NFL draft needs ranked. So interesting about this is interior offensive line. I bet there's 12 teams that need that, right? But the good news is, go here. Where's he at? Let me find him. There's an Alabama guy that's the Booker right here. Tyler Booker, 25, right in the sweet spot for you. So that's great. Next is defensive tackle. Again, 15 teams probably could say the same thing about that. They need that. Wide receiver. This is where Stephon Diggs is probably gone. So it's Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Deebo Samuel. Heck yeah. Like, let's go. Running back. Again, pleasantly surprised to see that there's a ton of running backs available. And running back has really come back into the NFL. It's so valuable to have a young, dynamic running back. People are looking for them. They want them because teams have gone to the too high safety. They're like, we can't give up explosive plays. In your case, that's exactly what they're doing with a really good quarterback. You've got good wide receivers, good weapons. People are like, we can't let things go over the top. Running back. Now, again, you need an interior offensive line. Nobody doubts that and no one questioning that. If you can get that, find that strategically with a couple of things, right? We know that drafting is going to be great, but the Lions did it last year where they got Kevin Zeitler, who's 35 years old, but it's like 1 year. That's what we need. We need 1 year. There's guys out there like that, maybe veterans or guys that you're just counting on 1 year to piece this together because you can't draft everything. Interior offensive line is one of those where it's like, all right, give me a veteran dude just so that Stroud can get his confidence back and do his thing like he was doing just a year ago, where you could tell he kind of lost that. And it was like, come on, man. You lost that, man. And so, because when he's comfortable and just slinging it, the guy's incredible. And he would then put himself into that top AFC category with Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Like, that's where you got to be. And if you're not up there, it's like, well, forget it. What are we doing? Because you're talking Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. But you have one of the quarterbacks that can be in that category, and that's what's really exciting. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think Deebo Samuel would be, why not? Take another big swing at wide receiver and weapons, get the interior offensive line taken care of, and you'll be all set. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Again, covering a lot of teams. Can't wait to see what you guys do in free agency here in just a couple of weeks, and then the draft to follow after that. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.